All right, and we're live. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Feels like it's been so long since we had
Hi.
to skip a week. Um,
Yes,
yeah.
I know. How was your week, Angela?
Oh, it was. Oh, an alarm just went off. It was good. It was good. This week has been like Spirit Week at the school, so everyone's very excited. There's like dress all green day for the Grinch, and like holiday explosion day where all of your holiday things and things
Oh.
like this. So it's very cute. The kids are very into it with that, which I love. I am every time I move, I remember how many things I have, and I like the the little things like, oh, like my 7 Christmas sweaters or whatever, end up not making some of those moves with me.
Mm.
And I also get really hesitant to purchase more of them because I know that I don't want to have them in my space
Yep.
for 362 days out of the year. I do not want them here. But then for those last couple of days, it's like, would this week have been more fun? And if I had a couple more like really fun and funky sweaters,
Mm.
probably. Is that going to meaningfully impact my life in the next 3 days? No, it's not. After Friday, this is done. So yeah, but the kids get really into it. And today,
Mm.
Atlas and I are in the Christmas spirit. We match,
Oh, so
and I
cute.
feel very, very fortunate. And yeah, life is good. How has your week been?
Well, I traveled to Michigan for work for a week. It was good. I met a lot of my colleagues and everything because it's a huge place, for my work. So there's a lot of people that connect. There's a bunch of people I was not expecting to see, and a bunch of others that I missed a lot because of work schedule. It was very busy. Um, and then otherwise for here, I also had to submit the final grades at the beginning of the week. So I
Mm,
went while I traveled, at the end of last week. I actually was like every little time that I had that was not dedicated to work that I had to do in Michigan, I was actually, doing the final grading and all those things. That was fun.
yeah.
Not I'm happy that it's done now. It's like downtime a little bit. So I'm finally I'm on vacation mode now for me.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, I didn't have to, like, this year I don't have to grade because I'm a librarian and librarians don't have to put in grades for kids. Even though we like see all of them in
Yep.
essentially like a class capacity. Um, but I remember being a high school teacher and having 120 students and submitting grades. And we
Mm.
did it 4 times a year, right? Like all the grades had to be
Mhm.
submitted. And really, it pretended to be 4 times a year, but really it was 8 times a year that we were submitting grades because we also had to submit for progress reports.
Mm.
It was miserable. Grading is awful and I hate it. And I'm so
Yeah.
happy that I found accidentally. I didn't know this was true about librarians when I took the job. Accidentally, I found a job where I do not need to grade. So, yay.
Yeah. I mean, for us too, it is 4 times a year, right? Because you have the midterm and then the final grade, right?
Mhm.
But midterm, the students they don't, you know, say too much. It's just after the midterm grades are submitted that they start to like um, contact you a lot because usually our last day to withdraw is like a few days after the midterm grades are due, right? So they can have a look at this and say like, oh, I should withdraw because there's no way I'm gonna do it or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so final grades are usually stressful because you have a lot of students that are like, but can I submit all these like homeworks and stuff that I haven't submitted throughout the whole semester, right? So like,
Yep.
it's just a little bit stressful. And also like there's always like the one student who wants absolutely to have everything pass even though they did nothing and they don't want to do the work. So like they might after that like go to the department itself and try to get a recourse, right? Through the whole thing, but like, it's not going to fly, of course, because we have all receipts and we can say they didn't come to this and this and this and this and this, and we have the syllabus where everything is written, and they just have not been able to read essentially.
Oh
Um,
no. Yeah.
because I had a
Yeah.
bunch of students who's like, for example, like usually we have some participation or like attendance kind of thing, and we drop like the 3 or 5 lowest kind of scores, so they have like a few passes, right, where they don't need to have an absence or anything like this. um but some of them were like telling me, but none of the scores dropped after midterm and everything. I don't understand, are you really dropping the scores and everything? And I'm like, yes, look at this part and this part. And they were like, no, I don't see it. I had to screenshot the thing and tell them it didn't drop because you have been gone more than 5 times already before midterm, so of course it doesn't change after that.
Yeah. Well,
So
even though it's like frustrating, I'm glad that some of those recourse options still exist. I had this really
yeah.
scary moment during my grad program where I was
Hmm.
applying for graduation
Yeah.
and then realized that I somehow I was missing 3 credits. And I was like, wait, what happened? Where did these 3 credits go?
Hmm.
I've gotten A's on every single class. I took all of my classes. What happened?
Hmm.
And there was just a mistake. They had
Hmm.
accidentally put in an F instead of an A
Oh
for one
yeah.
of my
Yeah.
classes. I
No.
almost had a
I
panic attack. I was about to, and like it was super easy to like my professor was
Yeah.
super understanding. I had like a
Yeah.
Canvas message from her at the end of the semester where she had said like this is the grade that I'm
Yeah.
submitting for you. You did a great job. Happy, summer or
No,
whatever.
but
Um yeah. And I know that people abuse the system. But
yeah, I would say like I am also very scared when I submit the final grades, right? That I will like I cross-check like 3 times because I'm very it's very easy, right? From one because you just have a table like this and you put the grades in like there and you have like 40 plus students. You have in total I had like 80 students, right? So it's very easy, right? So I try to be as conscious as I can, right? In my spreadsheet, I have color coded the grades so that way I can see them a little bit more, right? But when I submit in the website, of course, it's not color coded, right? So, I have to be really careful. So, like, if
it's
I
hard
have
to
a
double
student,
check.
that's why also I keep all the spreadsheet, I keep all the stuff because I'm like, if there's a student, they realize that and whatever, and they want to get a recourse, of course they should, right? If there's an issue. Um, and I'm the first one to say if it's really something true. I'm like, oh yeah, I changed it, right? Um, but most of the time at that point, it's usually like a lot of students that try to do this one thing or the other, and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, what I'm reading tonight is none of these for sure because I'm very tired because I just traveled today. So, Royal Assassin, I would sleep because the audiobook would put me to sleep for sure. Nuna the Ninth, I would also start to sleep because it's so complicated that I would not get anything. I tried House of Bane and Blood and I really liked this, right? And it's a romantasy, so it's not that complicated, but also it's a new world, and I'm at the beginning, right? And I tried to read this in the car as an audio format, and then there was a bunch of world building about gods, and I didn't get anything, so I need to reread that, and I don't want to do that tonight. And Play of Shadows and buddy reading. So if I don't remember stuff, I won't be able to comment on this. So, so I took a bunch of kind of more fluffy kind of reads that maybe I can try. Although these two should be automatically removed because this one I don't
Ooh.
have an audiobook.
Oh.
I don't have an
Ah,
audiobook of
gotcha.
this one. So I as
Yes.
much as it's probably easy to read. I think I'm a little bit tired, and I would
That's
reread a
totally fair. It's just
sentence.
I saw those two and I was like, such good options. And you were like, nope. And I was like, okay.
No, but this one
That
is
one
a
is fun.
fantasy. This one
But
is
it's
a
not like
fantasy.
challenging.
Yeah, but
You don't have to.
okay.
It's
Considering I was
okay.
reading this romantasy that's also not challenging and I couldn't, I'm
Yeah.
afraid I would try. And also, I okay. Let's back up. Naomi Novik, right? I already had an issue with her writing style, another series, right? So
I will say
I'm
her
worried.
writing is very different here, but
Yeah,
no pressure from me. You
I've
do not
heard
need
that it
to.
is
It's
very
okay.
different, but I've heard also that it's a lot more formal. So yeah,
That is true. That is true. It's a little bit more formal for sure.
I have to manga because manga are
Okay.
usually easy-ish. Also, Moriarty is like volume 17, so I know the world, right?
Yeah.
Right? So it should be fine, right? This one is a new one, but also it's a fluffy kind of basically it's one of those isekai stories, so it's a person from our world and she gets dumped into a novel where she's
Mhm.
supposed to be the villainess, right? And she decides to just use her knowledge to actually do something with it. And not die also because villainesses usually die, right? Um, then there's
Checks
this
out.
one, which I assume since it's like a romance
Ah, yes,
paranormal, it's probably easy to read, and I got it as audio.
it
There's
is.
also this one, right? That's a mystery.
Yeah, I actually had a challenging time following the Thursday Murder Club.
Okay.
Um, it was, it was, I will say, in the middle of my first year of teaching.
Okay.
So, um, that means I was like stressed and like
Hmm.
kind of everything was hard for me that year. But I had
Is,
a hard time with Thursday Murder Club.
is it the number of characters that were hard to follow, or what do you remember?
That's what I recall. I also
Yeah.
recall thinking that so you have four main characters, like two older men and two older women that you're following, and
Mm.
I just like constantly got them mixed up. Um, and I
Got
think
it.
if I were to reread it, I would have an easier time because I do
Got
think
it.
that they're probably distinct. Like the character work in that series is supposed to be very good, but
Sure.
yeah.
Okay, so I will put it in the no pile for today then. And the last one I have
Yeah,
is
again,
this
don't
one.
let me like totally sway you. Oh
No, I
yeah,
know.
I started that one. Yeah, I didn't get
So
far through. But if
that
you
one,
liked it, I would be willing to give it another chance.
yeah, I think that one since it like it seems to have like a sort of humorous kind of tone and everything. And it also seems to
Mhm.
be like first person, I think. Is it first person or not? I think
It
it is.
might be. I don't
No.
entirely
Okay.
recall. Do you remember
It's
that like
not.
the person you're following doesn't know what's going on at all at the
Yeah.
beginning. It is a little bit confusing. But
Mm-hmm.
not in like a I don't think it would be challenging for you to read. I think you would be fine. Um, and it did seem like it was going to be fun. It gave me, I only got like two chapters in. I had it from the library and it just like felt like a 3-star read right off the bat for me. Like I would
Hmm.
push through it and it would still be 3 stars. But again, I haven't heard much about it. So like if you loved it, I would maybe consider picking it back up again. Or if you hated it, but in ways that I love, I would consider picking it back up again.
Yeah. I picked it up because I really like the this other one from Django Wexler. You know, like the how to defeat
Mhm.
the Dark Lord and die trying. So it felt like this one could be like the
I think
same
it's
kind of
probably
tone.
a good comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm worried also that I won't like it as much, right? But so I don't know. Or should I try to give a try to the His Majesty's Dragon? You decide for me.
So, I mean, my initial right off the bat would be the time I got drunk and saved a demon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one you have, right? Saved a demon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
It's
one.
good. It's fluffy. It's light. I don't
Yeah.
know whether you're gonna end up loving it or not, but like it's a very easy breezy read. If you need a like all
Oh,
vibes, no
also
think
the
situation.
writing is very big, and since I'm tired with my eyes for driving, I think it's perfect.
Might be
And I got
great.
the audio from the library, so I think I'll try this one. It's a
Yeah.
fluffy, and I need
Woo!
fluffy, so let's try this one.
Yes. Yes.
What
That
are
being
you
said,
reading?
if you read, and you cannot commit to this, but oh, Oh no. I just threw myself out across the room by accident. It slipped out of
Aw.
my hand. It just like jumped away from me. So I'm gonna have to go get it here in a minute. But I read the first two in the Temporary series, and I really need to read the third one. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you happened to read those two in the next few days and you wanted to listen to the third one together when we go home for Christmas. But
I need
way
to
too
read
tight
this
of a time.
one. I need to read this one because I got it from the library, and it's I think it's expiring in like 10, 11 days, and I do want to read it before it expires. So I will.
Sure.
I don't know if I will read the two of them before next week.
I was kidding. But
But
yeah.
yeah.
Fun. I am like at 75, 80% on a YA thriller. It's the second in a series. You know how you have like every sort of like kid goes to secret school situation, kid goes to
Uh,
secret spy school, kid goes to secret, you know, magic school, kid goes to secret
yeah.
whatever. This is kid goes to secret con artist school. And
Got it.
so I I think that these are only okay. They are I
Uh-huh.
I they are not fabulous. However, it's like I cannot look away. I must finish them. They're like they're like candy where you know that it's bad for you and also you
Mm.
don't even like it that much, but like you're already eating it, so you're gonna keep eating it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
situation I'm in.
It's
Yep.
like half of a not half, but like part of a romantasy series that are super long and everything. It's like you can't
Mhm.
it's popcorn, right? So you need to also binge them one after the other because if you
Yeah.
stop and then you ever restart the
And
series
you're
6 months later, then you're like, why was I so obsessed with this? I don't
Why would I
know.
ever do that? Yeah. And at some point, we're going to need to talk about the fact that I, a year ago, was like reading all the romantasy. And now you say romantasy to me, and I go, ugh, another one again. I feel so burnt out on romantasy, which is
Mm,
wild. I need like, I need like a few really good ones to maybe pull
hmm.
me back in. But
Sure.
maybe that
I
can be something I can ask you in the new year is like one or two specific ones that you think I would like. Um,
Yeah.
because
I'm
right now
very
it's just a C. Also, all my authors who write contemporaries that I like, that I want them to continue writing contemporaries, are suddenly jumping ship and writing romantasy, and I'm
yeah.
so mad about it. I'm so
Well,
frustrated. I'm
that's
like,
because it's the
I have
new
romance.
shiny thing.
I know, but like I have my romantasy authors who I like and who I will
Hmm.
continue to read, but I also want to
Sure.
still have my other genres. I don't want them to disappear on me.
I agree.
Anyway.
I agree, and also like I think like writing romantasy and writing a contemporary romance, it's still not the same. Like it's not the same thing, right? So
You don't have
you
to
don't.
build very effectively in a contemporary romance, and
Yeah, and the problem
romantasy
is
is
with
really different
with
romance.
usually with the authors I read, I mean it's not always right, and some of them it works right in the way they do it. But like the problem that I've seen with those who were writing contemporary romance and then they jump to romantasy is that their world is very like it's not it's it's built on stilts, right? It's not very sturdy. You don't want to shake anything in there because like it won't make any sense after that. You see what I mean, right? Like the Fourth Wing, right, series, it's really it's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, right? It's a lot of fun to read. But like if you really go and try to understand the different things, it just doesn't make sense, right?
It
uh
crumbles, yeah.
so I am very intentional though about the romantasy that I pick. I don't read, I still read a lot of other genres, right? Because I know I would very easily burn out on some for sure, but like
I also think that I really want. I have several romantasy series that I'm like in the middle of that are like
mm,
books are actively coming out.
sure.
I don't think I want any more that I'm currently following. I think
Mm,
I only want series that are finished. And most romantasy series are just starting right now.
mm,
or have
Mhm.
like 2 or 3 books out.
That
There are not very
yeah.
many that are complete. Yeah.
So that's one thing that you could go, because like there's a bunch of authors that started to do this like series of duologies kind of thing. So for example, this one,
Mhm.
it has like a story that is like finished because the second book already came out, so they already have the two of them. So you can always like do a sort of duology with
And
that
it's
and
like
say like,
one
oh
couple and then another couple and then another
yeah,
couple. I do
yes.
like that. That's a structure that is very
And
appealing to
there's
me.
also like an overall kind of world, and I guess like an overall plot in some ways, but still like it is a
Yeah.
separate kind of story. A little bit like the also the Carissa Broadbent, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, right? The duology. There's a next kind of duology that started to come out, the first of the two. I'm waiting for the second one and that second duology to come out so I can read both of them at the same time, because I know the end of that first book will be bad.
It'll be a cliffhanger. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, I have distracted us too much.
Yeah,
I'm going to fetch my, and just for hilarity's sake, I'll tell you about this. When the phone jumped out of my hand, it fell
yeah.
into Atlas's water bowl and bounced out. So, for context, I also have to dry it off. It'll be
Ouch.
fine. But yeah, annoying. All right. So, how long would we like? Would you like a short sprint since you are tired, or would you
Maybe
like a long sprint since we're starting a new book?
let okay. Let's try a short sprint, because also it's a, I mean it's a short book anyway, and like,
Hmm.
and let's see how I feel, and if I'm not like dozing off or something.
I also, I made it a little bit more wintry, our kitten this time. So,
Mm.
wintry vibes.
Aw, that is cute.
All right. Good luck, all. Happy reading. See you in 30 minutes.
Happy reading. Hello. Welcome back.
We're back. So how is
I
the
read
book?
15%.
It's a fast book, friend.
Yeah, it is.
Enjoying the silly vibe.
I gotta say, I'm having a silly, goofy time, and I'm having fun. I
Silly
think
goofy time
the
is all that book is
extra
gonna get through.
added, yeah, I think the extra added like weirdness about the names of every single person nearly in this book is just adding to this, right? Like the main character's name, Cinnamon Hot Pepper, and her brothers being like chili and cumin. It's like, okay, I
I
get.
don't even remember the specifics. Like now that you say that, I do remember that she was named Cinnamon. But
Yeah.
I read that, but it was probably 2020 or 2021 when
Yeah,
I
because
read
it was
it the first time.
self-published, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I read it before it got picked up because
And
I'm
her
cool like
best
that.
friend, who's like a cheesemaker, her name is Brie. Like, but
It's
like,
so
no, it's
good.
and like, for
It's so
example,
good.
I put a mark there because I laughed stupidly at this. Brie, my goddess of cheese, bring me that sweet, sweet Gouda. That's how she talks to her friend. So yeah.
I forgot that
Um.
part. That is really funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
The
find
world is
a. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the world is silly and it's fun and it's probably what I needed and the only thing I could really focus on, so it's good. How much
That
do
makes
you read?
sense. I finished, or like, yeah, I think I was literally in the last few seconds of the YA thriller Scammed that I was reading. And I was looking for the next one because the first two were on Libby. It was The Deceivers and then
I see.
Scammed. And then the last one was not on Libby. So I was
Oh,
a little bit worried, but I think it's on Hoopla. So I think that I
got it.
can get it there. Um,
Got it.
which is great. Now, friends,
Yes.
today is an exciting day because today I have done something silly and goofy. Talk about a silly, goofy, good time. I have a thing. So I'm going to
Well, you are starting this. I just
yeah, go for it.
hi Scorpio.
Hi, Scorpio.
Reading Secrets by Fern Michaels. Ooh.
Ooh, very fun. Okay. So here's my silly thing. I'm gonna try to arrange myself so that I can also see you without making this any smaller, which is challenging. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, there's just going to be a lot of like clicking around for me. This is going to be a challenge. But this is our first little book quiz that I have made for you. I had such a good time making this. I had so much fun. Lots of this is just like literally things that make me laugh. Every time I see some of these book titles, I giggle at them. So we have 3 rounds. I will explain each round when we get to them. I will say, objectively, romance books have the best titles. They are all punny. They are all entertaining. So a majority of these are romance books with a couple of mysteries, couple of fantasies thrown in. But I really must say, other genres, let's go. We need to get better punny titles because romance is kicking all of your butts. We have learned.
It's true that a lot of the puns is mostly romance, and some mysteries now also are getting into it, right? But it's more
I
recent,
agree.
I want to say.
Clementine, I am going to go through just some quick rules. One, there are 3 rounds that I've prepared for us tonight. If we don't do all of them, we can do some of them later. 2, there are 5 questions in each round. That is a potential of 15 points with some bonus point opportunities. I
Woo!
think it is very unlikely that you will get any bonus points, I must say. The bonus
Uh-huh.
points are hard. Now, last but not least, no research, obviously. I feel like this doesn't even need to be said, and no looking in the chat. So
So
here's the thing.
I put you in like bigger format so I don't see the chat.
Beautiful, gorgeous. You're already
There you go.
ahead of me. I love it. Well, what this does mean, though, is that if anyone is watching and wants to play along, you can put your answers in the chat
Yes.
and keep score for yourself. So I'm going to keep score
Yeah.
for Clementine. You can keep score for you. Also, Clementine, I thought just to make it kind of fun, maybe if you get like more than 10 points, I'll buy. Oh, I just threw my pencil. My God. If you get more than 10 points, I'll buy you coffee on the way to go home for Christmas. So,
but
yes.
if I lose, I buy you coffee.
Perfect. I wasn't going to say that part.
No, but
I will also say I have stared at these so much that I think all of them are super obvious, but I have no idea whether these questions are hard or easy. No clue at all. So it could be that you get 0 points and it's my fault. We'll see. So here is round 1. This is the imposter round. What book title does not belong? Okay. So each slide is going to have 4 book titles on it. 3 of them are real book titles, and I believe for each one they are all in the same series by the same author. So these 3 book titles are like a set. It's not necessarily all of the books in a series. So there might be like a 7-book series. I've picked 3 of them. And then I have also provided you with an Angela original imposter book title. That is not a real book. Now, here's the problem. There were some books that I really wanted to include. And we'll talk about it more later, but there is exactly one question. Again, there are 5 questions total. There is one question in the set of 5 where all 4 of them are books. They all exist, but one of them is not in the same series as the rest. So if you can identify all of these are books. If you can say all of these, yes, then I will give you a point. And you can get a bonus point by identifying which one is not in the same series as the rest.
Got it.
It didn't seem fair for me to give you ones that were actual books and just like trying to pick the ones in the wrong series. That seemed way too hard. Yes. All right. I have a sample question. I came prepared. Here's an example, and I got this from your series reading list, so I know that you know.
Yes.
So again, paranormal romances, great in the pun factor. So good. So if I were to give you these 4 titles, Knock Down, Dragon Out, I'm Not Lying to You, Like It Like Cat, and Barely Hanging On, which one does not belong, Clementine?
So I considering I only read one and I'm DNFing the series, I just wrote it for the stuff, but I think it's C.
Yes, and I think that this might be my worst pun in the slides. So I'm glad that one was obvious because that means that we you might get some of the other ones. So here are the answers. These are the real books, and Like It Like Cat is not a real book. All right. First official question number 1.
Ooh.
Which one of these is not a real book? A Wish in Time, An Unwelcome Quest, Spell or High Water, or Fight and Flight? And you can kind of talk us through what you're thinking if you'd like to.
So the only one that tells me that just reminds me of something is Spell or High Water for some reason. But the others after that, and if they're supposed to be in the same series, if they are, I have no idea. Ugh.
It's, I'm
I'm
glad
gonna be
I did a
terrible
good
at
job.
this.
I was worried about this one. I was like, maybe it'll be obvious. If you have any guesses, to go ahead and put in the chat. I promise I won't read them out loud. But yes, I love these titles, by the way. I think they're fabulous.
Huh. I feel like the B, an unwelcome quest, doesn't go with the others, so I'll go with that one.
All right. B, an
Yeah.
unwelcome quest. Unfortunately, B does exist. The imposter title was indeed A Wish in Time. And I'm not surprised that you've heard of Stellar High Water. This is Off to Be a Wizard series, Wizard 2.0. And Stellar High Water is only the second book in the series. So I think the next one is an Unwelcome Quest, and then Fight and Flight is later, or the other way around.
Got it.
I love the title in Unwelcome Quest, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So fun. So fun. I wish I came up with it. I would have felt very proud of myself. All right, question number 2. Cheesy on the eyes. A pizza, my heart. I need you tonight, or don't forget me.
Okay. Let's go. I'm gonna go with D. Don't forget me. Because it seems like the one that's like the farthest away from all the others that actually are words. So let's just go with that. It's probably not that. Oh,
So you are
yes,
right,
I have 1
actually.
point.
You get that point. However, I must tell you that there is a title using the dough, the dough pun. It's just not this title. I don't remember which one it was. I think it's Don't Let Me Go, is the actual title. Yeah.
Scorpio was
So,
also saying D, so hey.
woo, success. All righty. Question number 3. It's getting Scott in here. Scott under the covers. 2 Scott to handle, and hit me with your best Scott.
Yep, so it's a historical romance series with Scottish people.
This is true.
But okay. Being honest here, is this the one where it's actually one of them is just from another series?
Is this your official guess?
Yeah.
Yes. This is the one where one of them is from another series. For a bonus point, would you like to guess which one is from the other series? Also, I just want to say, you do not know how many times I was looking up phrases with hot, phrases with thought, phrases with anything that rhymes, right? And every single one that was good, I would be like, oh, this is it. This is so good. I found one. I would look, it was already a book. Every single one. The number of Scottish romances where they have substituted hot for Scott, so many.
That's why I guess this one, because I've seen so many, and I know you've seen even more than I did. So anyway, that's gonna be really hard because they look all the same. So Scorpio, if you want to try to guess too, I mean it's a bonus point, so I might as well try.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
I believe in you. Scorpio, I love the guesses. Keep them coming. I'm so happy that we have someone playing along. It makes me so pleased.
Well, I mean, okay, so A and C seem to be like, is getting hot in here or too hot to handle, so they seem to be linked together. So I'll go with hit me with your best Scott, because that one also, the Scott under the cover seem also to be like, with the same
like
kind
it's
of
hot.
theme. Yeah. So I'll go with D.
Yeah, that's the logical answer. It went the wrong way. The correct answer is C. Too Scott to handle is not
Oh,
in this series.
yeah. It was.
And the number of times I was like, yes, Too Scott to handle, I've got it. And then already a book. Oh,
That's
tragic.
okay.
Tragic.
But hey, I
No
still
puns
got
left for
that.
me.
It was different. So.
Yes, absolutely. Right now, you have 2 points, and we are only on question 4, and you haven't even answered question 4 yet. I think you are doing fabulously. Okay, so this one might be a little bit more familiar to you. This is a little bit of a risk, but the puns were just too good. Okay, cross my heart and hope to spy, live like we're spying, only the good spy young, and don't judge a girl by her cover.
Oh gosh. I don't know, actually.
I'm very proud of this one, I will say. Go me.
Okay. I mean, the problem with like C and A is that there are puns with expressions, so it does feel like you've already heard it
Mhm.
because of the expression, right?
Yeah.
Also, don't judge a girl by her cover. Um, oh, okay. It seems way too obvious, maybe, but all the other ones have spy in them in the title, and D doesn't. It seems like 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 the fake how to say, like you put it
And I
there
know
to
I told
trick
you not
me.
to look at the chat, but I will say Scorpio did pick D as her guess for this question.
Yeah, but it seems like you might have tricked us doing this, saying like, yes, that's great. There's one of them that's different than all the others. Let's put another spy in there so it feels like it, right? Just, yeah, let's
Am I
still
that
go with
clever,
D.
Clementine?
I'll go with D because
Okay.
I can't see anything else, but like, just...
If I had double bluffed you out, I would have been very proud. However, it is Live Like We're Spying. So this is the Gallagher Girl series. These are all YA secret spy school books. And Live Like We're Spying is not one of them.
That was my
But
other
I love
guess in my mind, but then I saw all the other were spies, so it gets D. Ugh. Okay, let's go with the first guess. Oh,
Alrighty. And last but not least for this round, we have the Badger puns. Badger to the bone, got it Badger, in a Badger way, and Breaking Badger. Which one is not a book title? This one I'm also pretty proud of.
well, they're all bad puns, right?
Yes. Bad
So
to the
it's
bone,
so
got it
hard.
bad, in a Badger, or in a bad way, and Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm guessing too many D's, but I'll say D because like it's Breaking Bad is it's a TV show, so I don't know. It feels out, but
Yes.
yeah, of
Unfortunately,
course
I
not.
did think that you were going to guess the it was got it Badger. I will say that this was more challenging than I anticipated. Maybe I just didn't have enough confidence in my own pun game.
Hmm.
But yes, that is the conclusion of round 1. If you were playing along, let us know in the chat how many points you got. Clementine is sitting on 2 points, but the next round has a lot of bonus point potential, so she
Ooh.
can still come back and win it all.
Ooh.
Thank you for indulging me in my
No,
silly.
I love it. I love it. I feel like I have to do like the next round, and I think I need to
Ooh.
get like maybe French books and do like a translation of them or stuff like that. We can do something
Yeah, I
like that.
think a direct translation and me trying to give you the actual title would be
Yeah,
really fun.
exactly.
Um, I I also think I was thinking about this, and this is one either one of us could do. I was thinking about, you know how people do like Google Translate songs where you put in it into like a bunch of different languages and see what it spits out at the end. I think just doing that with a like any book title would be super fun. Like imagine putting Serpent in the Wings of Night into Google Translate and doing like,
Oh my
you
God,
know,
yeah.
12 different languages and coming back out into English and trying to figure out what it was.
That would be, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very fun. Okay, Scorpio got one. So right
Hey,
now you're the lead, Clementine. They were hard.
Scorpio, you know,
Hard,
we're
hard.
down there, right? I feel like I'm gonna buy her coffee, but that's okay.
We could lower it to like
No.
a 7,
No,
8
no, no, no,
situation
no,
if
no,
you
no.
want
We
to.
we need the extra challenge. Come on.
Alrighty. Wonderful. Ah, goodness gracious. What did Scorpio say she was reading? I know she mentioned it.
Secrets by Fern Michaels.
I don't think I know that one.
That one.
Looks like a thriller. Oh, general fiction, mystery. It looks kind of spooky, but
Mm.
not
Well,
spooky like spooky like ooh, liminal space.
I mean, with
Are we
the
comfortable?
name like secrets, I mean, there's bound to be some, at least one secret. I'm not putting any like big
No
bets in.
spoilers of that.
I'm saving all my difficult guesses for the for all the
For
quizzes,
the
right?
game.
I just my brain otherwise is like going easy.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, are you feeling ready to start reading again?
Yeah, I feel rejuvenated, and this one is really fun. I'm you know, I'm laughing, so it's what I wanted to do. So that's perfect. Also,
Oh,
my boss just told me that he had the information he needed, so I don't have anything to do for work tonight. So hey, yay!
woo! Yay. Happy for you. I don't know. I'm still praying for a Christmas miracle, Clementine.
Yes.
I think it could happen. All right. I think during this sprint, I'm probably gonna end up taking Atlas outside for a minute. He's been
Hmm.
panting at me.
Yeah,
So
of course.
awesome.
You can choose the time since you have to.
Let's just do let's just do 30 again. I kind of liked the vibe of 30 for today. It's so
Because we have the
chill.
quiz and all that. Yes, let's do that.
And we started late and yeah,
Ooh!
yeah.
Before we
You
start the sprint, Scorpio's
know,
telling us it's a cheesy thriller. I know, you know, I like cheesy books, and this is a cheesy romance. So yay, we're matching.
yay.
And Angela was kind of
And
bringing
we're doing cheesy puns. So
yes,
lots of cheese all around today.
lots, lots.
Uh
It's a theme
great.
tonight.
We love a good theme. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and click start on the timer. Good luck. Happy reading, y'all.
Happy reading.
Hello, hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. How was your reading, Clementine?
Well, I'm up to page 82, so pretty good. It's very fast paced. Still very funny. Although there is like the main character's sister, right, passed away some years ago, so there is a moment that's a little bit emotional in there, right? And that's obviously going pretty quickly. I think it's a little bit quick for me, but also I'm willing to overlook it because it's just a silly, goofy time, right?
Yes. Silly, goofy time. That's the crux of it. I decided I was planning to start Blitz tonight. That was the plan. I just decided to pick up the third book in the Deceivers trilogy. So
Sure.
the last one, it's called Payback, and that's what I'm working on now. And it's a continuation. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I'm reading it. The Deceivers has sat on my TBR for like perhaps years, like a long time. So I'm glad to finally get it off of the TBR. And I'm glad to finish it. Finishing a series always feels like a really big accomplishment.
Sure.
So I'm excited for that. Yeah. And I don't think this author is going to be one that I'm going to like look to read from again. So I also get to like check that box off, right? Like I didn't add more to my to-do list. I'm working on my embroidery. This is
Ooh, that's pretty.
Thank you. So yeah, it was very productive. Now, the moment
Scorpio, how much did you read if you read? Also, let us know.
Or anyone else listening, let us know.
Or anyone else.
Sometimes Scorpio takes a minute or two to come back from whatever she's doing. All right. Now.
And there is some delay for the comments too. So.
Absolutely. We go. Sure. Alrighty. Ta-da! Can you see it?
Yep.
Awesome. Round 2. Now, round 2 is different from round 1. I decided to do 3 different rounds all around the same theme, which is punny titles that make me laugh.
Okay.
Round 2 is guess the premise. So I am going to give you a book title. I want you to describe the element of the story that inspired that title for 1 point. Now, what I think would also be fun is if you were to expand a little bit, use your imagination, if you would, and kind of take some random shots in the dark around
just
other
trying
elements of the
to
story.
get a synopsis out, right?
Just like, do your best. You can just like make stuff up. There's usually like one thing that I'm looking for, like one or two words that is the base connection between the title and the premise. And if you get that, you get your point. But if you just happen upon some other fun, interesting details, you might get a bonus per my discretion.
And we have a Michelle. She's home. Hi,
we have a wild Michelle has appeared. Hello, Michelle. Welcome. So happy you're here. Michelle, feel free to play along if you would like to put some guesses in the chat. Clementine won't look at them before she guesses, but we would love to have you play along. And during our next sprint, if you would like to go back to the previous round, we did guess which book title does not exist. So that was very fun. Right now, Clementine's sitting on 2 points, and she needs to get 8 more points in order to earn a free coffee from Angela on the drive back home. Alrighty, let's jump into our first question. So, I have an example. Here's my example. This is like a buzzy new release, so I'm pretty sure you know it. It's also totally possible that I picked some books that you've heard of or know, and that's fine. You just get those points. That's okay.
So,
okay.
I've seen the cover and I've seen this book under Lock and Key, but I'm not
going to get a point for this. This is just an example. but
I'm
you
not
can
too
still
sure
watch it.
though, because I know it's about the Loch Ness monster in some way, but
Yes.
with the cover, you're not really sure if the main love interest is supposed to be the Loch Ness monster, or if there's a bunch of other things in there, right? So
Gotcha. Yep. So this is, and I also, just for context, I also gave you the genre.
mm,
I think most of them are romance with one mystery toward the
got it.
end. Okay, yes. So this is a Loch Ness Monster shapeshifter paranormal romance. And your bonus random fact you could have guessed. This is the most niche one, but I just couldn't
How?
not do this. The female main character's name is Kiana, and she goes by Key.
How are you supposed to figure it out unless you've read it?
Again, you wouldn't know that. I just couldn't not tell you that. As soon as I read it, I needed to tell somebody that what this author did was name her female
Yeah.
main character Key, because she decided she wanted it to be called Under Lock and Key. Like, it's wild to me. Wild. Anyway,
Now, I really want to try this book though.
I thought it was just okay.
Oh.
But also it was like kind of silly, but also kind of serious. It had a little bit of a tone situation, but one of my colleagues really loved it. So,
Mm-hmm.
take that with a grain of salt. All right, real question number 1. Not in my book is a romance. What do you think Not in My Book is about?
Oh. Okay. Real shot in the dark.
Mhm.
Because I have no idea.
Sure.
This is about a bookstore person. So she's working at a bookstore.
Mhm.
And there's a guy, because she was reading during a break, and a guy pops out of her book that she was reading.
Oh,
And not in
like a
my
little bit
book.
magical.
But she has a hard
Gotcha.
time believing
I love
that.
that. I would love to read that book. That sounds great. This is a romance novel about 2 aspiring writers who are in a writing workshop together. And they are forced to co-write a book together, and they don't like each other because she writes romance and he writes literary fiction. And his books are sad all the time, and her books are too tropey. And
Hang
that's what
on.
they argue
Hang
about.
on. Apart
Yeah.
from the fact that he writes lithic, isn't this just a recomp of a rewrite of a book by Emily Henry?
You're thinking about Beach Read.
Yeah.
The premise is kind of similar. These 2 authors are in a very different point in their career. I think in Beach Read, they were both like established authors. These are 2 authors who are like in a grad program. They're like trying to fight through writing their first book.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's a very
Kind
similar.
of, yes. The tropes are, I think it would have been much more interesting if she were the literary fiction writer and he were the romance writer. I think that would have been kind of more interesting, but it's okay. All righty.
Do I get points for originality?
You get points in my heart, but not real points.
Aww.
All right. Question
I
number
feel
2.
like I'm gonna be really bad at this.
I think you can do it. I think it really only takes like one lucky break. Also, that one, I think bookstore was a really good guess. Solid guess. All right. Question number 2. Conventionally yours. Conventionally yours.
Shot in the dark. Convention Allie. So it's about this girl named Allie, and she's going to bookstore conventions, right? And because she's an aspiring kind of writer or designer, or maybe artist. I don't know if she's drawing things or whatever about, and writing fan fiction and everything. And and then when again, I don't think I got it. Conventionally yours. Oh. And she struggles, so she goes to this convention, and the only way that she can go there to do her things is to be an assistant to this guy who is like a very big manga, like writer. And
Ooh, I
so
like
she
this.
has
This is
to
fun.
like, she's his assistant, and he's very, because he's very well known, right? It's the new manga, right, that everybody knows and everything. And so he makes like outrageous thing that she has to do, and she is his for the rest of the convention, so she has to do.
Oh, because it's yours. That's great. I love that, Clementine. Awesome. I think we should get you to write all of the premises, and then authors should just go ahead and write them. Unfortunately, that's not what this book is about. This is a queer enemies to lovers romance, where they are on a road trip to go to a nerdy convention. So you do get a point. Woo! Yay! The convention is a gaming convention, and the main characters are like competitors.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, it's like a video game sort of a situation. No, maybe it's a card game situation. I think it's a card game situation. But they
Michelle
like, yeah.
also has a point, because she says it's an old flame at a business convention. Hey,
you can take a point if you feel like you should have a point, Michelle. Absolutely. All righty. Question number 3. A brush with love. A brush with love.
Okay. Shot in the dark. This is about a hairdresser.
Okay.
Brush.
Right? Yep.
A male hairdresser, right? And one day a dog stumbles into his hairdressing kind of a place, and he's very puzzled until a woman comes along, and she's blind, and her dog came along, her guide dog and everything. And so she's completely lost, and she doesn't know where she is too much. So they try to figure it out. And while she waits for somebody else to pick her up, he's brushing her hair and taking care of their hair because it was raining outside. And so they start to, converse and try to, and it's first love, love is first sight, right? And it's a brush with love.
Yes. A brush with love. Love that. Michelle had the same guess of a hair salon. This did not even occur to me that hair salon would be an option. I love that. It's actually oral surgeon. So if you had said dentist, we would be there. It's a brush with love. But that was a great pun. Like great, like high quality inferences from you both. A+.
We just don't get no points for that.
No points, but I did like it lots. All right. Now Michelle might remember this one, and you might too, to be honest. I think I shared this one. I don't want to say more, but I think I've talked to you guys about this book before, so I hesitated to put it on here, but it's such a good pun. This is Grave Reservations, and it is a mystery.
Okay. I don't remember at all. If you talked about it, I don't remember, or I wasn't there.
That's what I was hoping for.
So this is about a murder mystery, right? And so it all comes because this person who died of apparently normal circumstances, and just it didn't seem to be a murder, but somehow the grave is ransacked and the body disappears.
Wild.
But
on
the videotape, nothing happens. They don't see anything coming out. So there has to be something, and so they have to look, and the detective has to look at the grave reservations in all the new kind of, new kind of deaths that happened, to see where the body was actually put in maybe one of the other graves that were just reserved and just there to go.
Great. I love that. I think that's great. Michelle suggested maybe a maitre d' was murdered. Grave reservations. I love that idea. This is a book about a psychic travel agent who teams up with the detective, in Seattle to solve things. So the reservations travel agents, of course, make reservations for people. There's the fun. Sorry?
So the interesting thing about this is that now that you talk about the synopsis, I remember that you talked about the book, but I completely disconnected the
Looking at just the title without the cover, like without any clues, is really hard. And like completely out of context like that. Like, how many books have we talked about at book club? Like literally hundreds, right? So
okay, can I have half a point though? Because I think I had an even better pun with my synopsis because I used the grave and reservation too. Come on in the chat, please.
It was a very fun synopsis, and I do think that this round is more challenging than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be hard. I think the next round is going to be very easy for you though, and like comparatively very easy. All right, this one is also very hard. I'm sorry, I've designed a game that is too hard. Set on You, which is a romance book. And I tried to make them progressively harder as we went. So like the early ones were supposed to be easy, and then they were supposed to get harder and harder. But the last couple were too hard. So this one is probably also too hard. But
that's fine. I have fun designing terrible like synopsises. If anybody wants to write any of them, feel free. If I ever want to write a book, I might go back to this point and try to figure out some of them and do it. I'll have to find another title, and that would be so sad though. Set on You.
Well, I have lots of practice coming up with puns. As long as it's not a historical Scottish romance, we'll be fine.
Yeah. So it is the it is one of those stalker romances, actually, right? So it is a fangirl, and she loves this TV show, right? This TV show, think of like very, very, you know, like the best like TV show that everybody loves and everything, with this amazing actor. Think like Henry Cavill with all the, you know, like, and everything. And so she starts to try and get a little bit more involved and gets, you know, closer to people. And the only way that she finds is to be this, like, you know, TV like set, you know, like assistant kind of thing. You know, she helps, you know, to bring like errands and bring the food and all the things. And so she goes to the TV set because she's set on this guy, right? And she starts to stalk him and everything. But then, you know, something happens, and, you know, like they fall in love. I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to throw in a twist where she like actually falls in love with the cameraman or something, right? Like she doesn't actually get the actor. The actor's actually a jerk. But this is very fun. I love your premise.
That too. I can see that too, but I don't know too much. This one, I don't know too much where it would go, to be honest.
Yeah, this one, like I said, was very challenging. I'm sorry in advance.
Also got,
so
like,
this is set in a... Oh, sorry. Did someone else have a guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. This is a romance between two, like it's like an enemies to lovers situation in a gym. So the set is like sets or reps that you would do. I think this is like a very niche pun, but yeah, one of them is a fitness influencer, the other one is a firefighter, and they go from a gym rivalry to lovers situation. Yes. Very fun. Oh, there's another soccer, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. Yes. And also, I do want to point out that both Michelle and me also got like soap opera TV show sets, right? Because like,
yeah,
I think it's
you guys had several matching puns, like the matching hairdresser pun, for example. So yeah, I think this is great. A+ in my heart. You've got 3 points on the board. This means, Clementine, that you need a clean sweep through the second
Yeah.
one, 8, which put you over the 50% mark. But the second one is like a basically the next one, the basic premise is I'm going to give you the base for the title, and I'm going to give you the premise, and then you try to change the title to match. You try to make it a punny title.
Oh, I'm gonna lose.
You're gonna do great. It's gonna be awesome. I think it's much. I think this one is easier. I think.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be great. But before we get to that, should we read some more?
Yeah, of course. And Michelle, let us know later on what you if you plan on reading or anything. Well, we'll see after the break, and everybody else.
Yeah.
Should
Absolutely.
we do
Do we
30
want to do
minutes?
another 30 minutes?
Or...
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Perfect. Awesome. Oh, I just clicked on the wrong thing. It's okay.
You're good.
No, wrong place. This one. There we go.
And before we read, I can also give you another quote from this book.
Ooh, yes.
Yep. You're just the worst today. Wondering why I can't trust you when you're over here acting like a downright scoundrel. And then she pauses and says, "Scoundrel is too innocent of a word. You, sir, are a rapscallion."
A rapscallion.
Yeah.
Strong
I
language.
love the language. And it's very like southern, of course, like coded, because they also live and you have this swamp, like region, and they also have the Creole kind of food also in there and stuff. But like, so it's funny. The whole kind of combination of all of this. Yes. Anyway.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Gorgeous. Thank you, Clementine. And good luck, everyone. Enjoy your reading.
Good luck.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome back. How's the book?
I made it to nearly 50%, I think. So
Woo.
yay! It's fun. She's the main character is building like a companion kind of group with a bunch of demons, different
Mhm.
shapes and sizes. It's funny.
Yes. I remember not very many of the details of that book because it's
Mm.
been so long. But yeah, a good time. A good
Yeah.
time for sure. I got to, I'm not sure exactly how far I am. I'm 12% of the way into the new book,
That's
and
good.
I'm liking it. The stakes are definitely getting
Mm-hmm.
more. They're heightening. The end of the series, we are making progress.
Ooh. So Michelle is reading Midnight Sun, Last of Twilight. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. 21 pages.
Michelle will
Ooh.
finally be able to put Twilight behind her, finish it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, Midnight Sun is just Twilight, but written from
yeah,
the point of view of Edward. So it's just
yeah.
I could give you guys a bunch of other quotes if you guys wanted, but maybe we should after the round.
Would you like to do some quotes first? I'm totally okay either way.
I don't know if those quotes are actually better or like. Oh, there's this one passage that I really loved is because they arrive in this village and they have like those two competing inns, right? And so the names of them are just gold. Because like one of them is the worthless gazelle, right? And the other one is the hyenas. The what hyenas is it called? Sorry, I missed it. God dang it.
Well,
The
as you're looking,
dramatic,
Michelle says
the dramatic hyena and the worthless gazelle, right? And so they are the taverns are basically one next to the other, in front of the other, and they keep trying to get each other's business. So there's a whole big grudge, right? And so in the
Mhm.
window of the one of them is written. So there's a wooden sign that reads, "The hyena's pot roast is so undercooked, it's still mooing." And so the main character thinks, damn, that grudge runs deep.
Michelle
Anyway.
says she is not enjoying Midnight Sun, unfortunately. I'm not
Yeah.
particularly surprised, but
Well, I think Midnight Sun is worse than Twilight because, like, you are reading from the point of view of the stalker and all his reasons to stalk and actually be in love with this person. So
yeah. Yep. Well, regardless, a little change of pace.
Mhm.
We are going to do round 3, which is change the phrase. So I am going to give you the premise
Mhm.
and the phrase that was the basis for a punny title. And then you are going to figure out what the title actually was to get
Question.
a point. Yes.
Question. Are there no bonus points in this round to grab?
There is no mechanism for bonus points in this round.
Aw. So yeah,
No.
so I have to get all of them right, or I buy you coffee. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
A terrible fate for you. um,
Okay.
I'm glad the stakes are low. Alrighty. So here's our example.
Mm-hmm.
Example. Some like it hot. A historical romance set in the 19th century Scotland. Again, this is another one that I was like, oh, I got it. I got the title. It'll be great. This is Some Like It Scott, because of course it is. Because everything can just be replaced with Scott. All right.
Okay.
Here's your actual first question, number 1. The phrase is hooked on a feeling.
Uh-huh.
And the premise is a lawyer retreats to a small town. This is a romance. A lawyer retreats to a small town after a panic attack that disrupts her career. She decides to help the local bookstore become more profitable while also reconnecting with a childhood friend.
Uh-huh.
So, what do you think the
So
actual
my
was?
so my gut feeling makes me think of booked on a feeling with the
Mhm.
books and the bookstore. And I'm gonna go with that because I don't think I have another one that would work with that.
Yep.
Oh.
You are absolutely right. Woo! It is Booked on a Feeling by JC
Yeah.
Lee. Good job. That's a point. We love
Yay! Although I know it's going from the simplest
Yeah,
one
that
to
was
the
the easy one.
hardest. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I mean, my estimation of
Yeah.
what's
No,
easiest
no,
to hardest.
no, no.
So, you know. All right. Question number 2. The phrase is the lady is a tramp.
Okay.
And the premise is a vampire is kidnapped by a mortal who needs her help.
Oh, the lady is a vamp?
Yes, the lady is a vamp. Absolutely. This is like number 17 in the Archino series. And I laugh whenever I see this title because I think it's hilarious.
That's a good pun. That's a fun one.
It's a great one. All right, now we're getting a little bit trickier, but I think you can still do it.
Uh-huh.
Kiss and Tell. A love, and this is a direct quote from the back of the book because it was a very good summary.
Sure.
A lovelorn small town witch helps a handsome prince break free from a curse. This is like
Ooh.
it's a present day, like
Mhm.
witchy fan.
Okay. Curse, spell, kiss, and spell.
Absolutely, you got it. Kiss and spell. See, I told you this round was
So,
easier.
okay. I do have to say this round 3 is a little bit is easier for me. The round 2 I had so much fun guessing, but it was also very off.
Yes, I'm sure it was very frustrating the round 2, but yes, I
Oh,
think round 3 is very fun. Also, this is the perfect one to do when we're like kind of tired, kind of giggly.
yes.
I think it's
Yeah, yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle. We were going
I'm
too
sorry,
fast.
Michelle, but she got them.
Got the other two
Hey,
right. Yeah, yeah,
yay.
yeah. Yeah,
I
and I'm sure she would have gotten the vampire one too.
yeah, but
You guessed that one real fast, which
before
was great.
we continue, right? I just want to mention you said that it was very frustrating. It was not actually frustrating. I had a good
Oh,
time
good.
figuring out random, completely obscure like synopsises from like a title, right?
I'm so glad. That makes me happy. Alrighty. Okay. Question number 4. And we're getting
Ooh.
trickier. This is You've Got Mail. Two friends find a creative outlet in role playing games similar to Dungeons and Dragons and fall in love along the way. You've Got Mail.
Huh. So one thing usually with those titles, right, is that they still try to keep at least part of the word or something so it does rhyme a little bit in some
Mhm.
way, right? Uh so I feel like male is the only word that they could have replaced to feel like the you've got mail, right?
Mhm.
Uh but also mail could be like chain mail, right? So like I so the only two guesses I would have is either like you've got chainmail, which sounds kind of weird, right? Or like you've got dice for like the D&D dice kind of thing, right? Creative. Uh, phew. Or you've got game. You've got play. You've got oof. Ooh, this
I'm like
one's
trying
tricky.
to react. Yeah.
I'm not
I love
looking
that you're
at
talking
you.
through your process though. It's so good. I'm really enjoying hearing your thoughts.
I'm looking at the words, trying to figure out if there's something
Good.
that will trip me and kind of spark something. Huh. Yeah. Fail, fail. Okay. If somebody, I'm sure Michelle has a better idea than I do, but well, hmm. Okay, let's go with I don't even know what to go for. You've got dice. I know it's not that, but like I'll go with
You
that.
are gonna kick yourself.
I know. Because
um,
I did.
this makes me so sad. It is you've got chainmail.
My God. Come
So
on.
close. And yet so far. It was the first thing you said. You had it.
I know.
It was
I
just
know. Oh.
that one was hard though, and you did a great job. You had some
In
great
my mind, I got it. I got it. In some
yes,
way.
yes. In our hearts, you got that question right. Yeah. All right, last one. Final question.
Got quail.
I will be impressed with you if you get this one.
Wow.
Several young aristocratic men go on this is a historical situation. Several young aristocratic men go on a road trip to help some of their female acquaintances avoid a scandal. And the phrase is girls' trip. Girls' trip.
Girls trip.
This is one of those ones that I think like this is very challenging. It's very clever. I think it's great. This one's hard.
I feel like the word trip would be the one that's changed, and that's the one that would make the most sense in the sentence. And the
Okay.
word should be replaced with something that goes with the scandal, like so girls. It's hard for me finding sometimes word in English because like I have like
Sure.
flip, quip, whatever words. It's like it's not. It doesn't work with that. It just. Hmm. Also, I don't want to take too long, so like I don't have any idea, honestly.
If you want to just forfeit it and say no guess, that's totally okay. Or if you want to think more, you can totally think more. Or if we want, Michelle, if you've got any ideas that you want to throw at us,
Uh-huh.
since this one doesn't matter anyway,
Yeah.
right? We're already below the 8.
Let's
You
leave
guys
it
can collab.
to Michelle to try and guess.
Yeah, Michelle, got
I
any ideas
really
or anyone
don't.
else watching any ideas? Um,
Girls.
girls trip. What if you do you want a hint from me?
Why not? I know I'm not winning anyways.
Sure. Yep. So the word that is replaced is actually girl. It's not trip. Trip
Oh,
stays.
skip. Okay.
Mhm.
Oof. Yeah, but then I don't know it would rhyme with girl that easily. It's probably something that half rhymes and doesn't. Oh, okay.
It's actually a really good rhyme. It's great.
Okay.
Think of the British aristocracy. Think of who is in the British aristocracy. Maybe I'm giving bad hints. I'm sorry.
Earl's trip.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
The correct answer, which I love this title. I think it's great. It's Earl's Trip. I also really liked this book. I thought it was a very
With your
fun.
help, we got it.
Woo, success. Yeah, this one was great. A very unconventional historical romance. I highly recommend people give this one a try. So yeah, that was the Angela book titles that make her laugh challenge. And you got 6 points. So go you.
Woo!
Yay. The next book so it goes Earl's Trip, and then there's going to be another book, and that one is Manic Pixie Dream Earl.
Is it so? It's following several different earls then?
Yeah. Actually, I think like only 2 of them are earls and another one is a lord or something like that, right?
Okay.
Like it's kind of a combo. Though I could be wrong on that. It's been maybe like a year since I read it. But it was very fun. I had a really good time with that one, and I've loved the pun. I immediately loved the pun. I think I only read it because of the pun. Such a good pun. Yes.
Thank you, Michelle. I think you got more than me for that one. But I was
I think you guys were kind of neck and neck there in the last round. Michelle also guessed You've Got Chainmail, but she also guessed what looks like You've Got Tail, which would not have been. So, I think she was kind of on the same as you at the end.
Viscount.
One of them could have been a Viscount. I don't recall. It was a good book, though. Michelle, I don't think you would like it, but it was fun.
But I think I might like it because I do.
One of the characters' names is Clementine. I'm not sure if that's like a good thing or a bad thing for you when you're reading books. I don't remember. There's like a main girl and also her sister, and I don't remember which one of them is named Clementine.
That's okay if she's not a complete stupid character, right? Also, I think I have much more of an issue if they start to which one is it? I think it's one of those country romances, right, by Lila Sage that has a Clementine character. I think the first one, but they somehow I forgot what they gave her as nickname, but I was like, "Huh?" I think she's got Lem or something like this, or I don't know what, and I was like, what is that? That doesn't make no sense.
Was that the Done and Dusted, like Swift and Saddled?
I think,
one?
yeah. Lemmy or something weird like this, something like that. And
You're
I
like,
was
I would
like,
never want anything to be.
I've never heard that ever. Literally, it's like.
Yeah.
It's like this author took the name, never heard the name before, and then was like, "Oh, that sounds like a great nickname for it." And I was like,
Awesome.
"Okay, okay." But like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this was very fun. I loved the format. I love that it gave us something to talk about. It did take quite a bit of prep ahead of time. I think especially because I made my life hard for myself with this one. So I'm not sure how often I'll be able to put something like this together, but I had a great time. And thank you for indulging me. I had so much fun.
Thank you so much. It was such a lot of fun.
So
Thank you
good.
for the hard work. Next time I should be the one to actually do it. I think it would be fun with a translation of covers or something like that. I think. Yeah.
Yes, I think that would be super fun. And I don't think I have very much context for, I don't think I've seen very many French covers. And I also don't think I have very much context for like French words.
Yep.
Like like if it was Spanish, I would maybe be able to guess more. But with French, I don't think I have much. So that's actually a great one and an easy one to throw together would just be French covers, try to guess what they are. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Well, that's one round. I think another round would be
Yes.
like I take some of the books that have a different title and you try
Mhm.
to figure out what those
Which
are.
yeah.
I'm sure I can find some that are fairly known that you would know the book of and do something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I can try something, but it might take a lot of research because I don't know most of the names of the book I've read recently so far in French also. So it's just one
yeah.
time when I go back to the bookstore in France and I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
That's a weird title for it, huh?
Yes. What
Like,
is that? That doesn't mean the same thing.
yeah, I know.
Translation is weird. Yeah. Ah, so good. Well, I know I'm feeling a little bit tired. We're running up
Yeah,
on 10
we did
o'clock.
start later too, so it makes sense. But
Awesome.
that
Well,
was fun, and we
yes.
finished. Yay!
Thanks, team. Big shout out to Clementine for also doing this after a long drive today. Like A
Yeah,
plus.
to
Go.
be honest, I was I was not feeling so great when I arrived first, right? But I did have a little bit of time, and I think that really helped me to kind of unwind because like I was yeah, so it was a perfect night.
Wonderful. We'll probably skip next week
Yes,
because of the holiday, but hopefully we'll be back the following week.
we should. I mean, it would be like early January, so we can actually maybe do start our sort of yearly challenge kind of thing next
Ooh,
time.
yes, that's a great idea. So Clementine are going to challenge, and I are going to challenge each other to read some books next year, and that will be very exciting.
Yeah.
So plans, plans, plans. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a
Bye,
wonderful
everyone.